My name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I'm a living Christ. I should like to talk to you further this evening. I had indicated that on the 14th of this month, I would cease publicly publishing my videos on YouTube and Vimeo. And apparently that's not going to happen. Uh, I've tried to change the information with YouTube, but uh, it's not forthcoming. So I'm going to leave this public publishing of my videos for you to be exposed to. The information that I should like to speak to you this evening is about the fact that Jesus, certainly it was not his name uh, that was changed. So first of all, we're talking about the thought or the legend or the myth of Jesus, which is Christianity. That is an illusion, and all illusions are satanic in nature. I use that word satanic merely to indicate that they are intellectual. They are divisive ideas that are worshipped. Ideas are words, thoughts, symbols, legends, myths. They're not real. They're based on one's intellectual mind. And that is why I indicate that all who follow the religion of Christianity are being satanically mind controlled. Now, that's not an insult. You don't know any better. You have known that all your life as preschool children. You were conditioned by your parents, and it was followed up by the schools that you were sent to, the institutions of learning, of conditioning. These are the institutions of hell: government, religion, banking, and corporations. That's your life. You believe in these concepts and you contract with them. Now, to the point of contract, when you contract, you change your status from a living man, to the living dead, to one who worships concepts that are dead, ideas. You see, they are held in your mind, in your intellectual mind, and you hold them as your rules, your laws. Now, they are merely illusions. So your life on earth becomes an illusion. You don't see it that way because you're limited. And why are you limited? Because you have been conditioned by your schools, by your governments, by your religions to be limited, to worship ideas, concepts. That's the problem that all who are civilized face. They don't realize that they're living in hell. And hell is nothing more than consciousness that is based in limitations, split, and opposition based. That's the intellectual mind. And if you examine that, you find that that's your civilized world. That's all you know. That's all that is developed, is a split consciousness, a division. opposition, conflict, confusion. You're conditioned into those properties. You're conditioned to live in hell. And hell is the civilized world. Now, you haven't even thought of that. And you probably are railing right now at the possibility that this could even be true. You want to argue. You want to defend your consciousness. Your feelings are hurt. Oh, you feel. There's no question that you feel the energy of contradiction to my words. You don't want to be upset, so you voice a rebellion. You want to fight, you want to argue, you want to debate. Why? Because you feel the energy of contradiction in you. You see, if what I have just said to you was not true, it would not affect you in such a contradictory way. For truth is what is. If you were living your life in truth, you would not be disturbed in the least by what another says, especially this living Christ. Now, this has been the problem that this Christ has been facing in 25 years. All the powers of hell have been launched against this living Christ to prevent him from speaking to you. And they have changed. They have been in control of the means of communication. They control the views of my videos. Those are mechanical things that they can do because they have the outlet. The YouTube Corporation, the Vimeo Corporation, they are the ones who publish the videos, and so they have control over the means of publishing those videos and the counters. And so they control by the information based on the numbers of counter people who view my videos. They minimize them to double-digit numbers when they ought to be going viral, because this living Christ is the only living man who tells you the truth. And you can feel the truth. You can't find that anywhere else. You see, if you're responding to an idea that one speaks about, tells you a story about, you're being controlled. That's how mind control operates. It's very pleasant. They put you in a state of somewhat hypnosis, and they suggest to you that because you suspend your ability to discern, you accept such suggestions as truth. That is the basis of Christianity. Christianity is a myth. It is an institution of satanic mind control. And you support it with your energy. Now, your energy, there is no question that that is your life force, your hard work. You toil daily, and that energy is expended. In return for that, you are given money, a symbol of your energy. And then you give that money away to institutions that control you. Government is one of those institutions, so is the religious institutions. You support them. You fund them. They could not operate without your cooperation. But it's not cooperation, is it? They require that you operate under the stress of coercive agreement, which is called a contract. That is a satanic mechanism which binds you, satanically binds you to circumstances which have outcomes of a penalty. For example, if you do not consent to following the laws that are imposed upon you by your own consent to belong to that institution, you see, that's man's law. Man's law has no jurisdiction over living men because man's law is a fiction based in a fictional institution called government. And government cannot have jurisdiction over the living man or woman who is the creator of that government, because that government exists only in their minds. And living men and women can change their minds. They have the ability to uncreate that which they have created. Now, that's as easy as an answer that can be given to the problem of hell on earth. Do you understand? Government has no jurisdiction over you. I have proven that in the courts of Oregon. Now, what happens when that gets out? I've been speaking about this for 25 years. Well, not 25 years. I was in court on the 2002, so that's 17 years. But I've been speaking about the truth for 25 years. And I have asked for an investigation in 1999, an FBI investigation, and all government agencies have refused to investigate the crimes committed by the government against this living Christ. Understand? Now, what's the purpose of government? To serve and protect. If they do not protect, what are we paying for in our taxes? If I've asked for an FBI investigation from every possible police agency at the county level, at the state of Oregon level, at the federal level, clear up to the White House, several administrations. And that FBI investigation is not forthcoming. Why? Why not issue an investigation and disprove what this Christ is saying? In the meantime, they carry on sub rosa, libelous campaigns, secret campaigns. Well, publicly, they will not even admit that this living Christ exists. This living Christ has been made, the population, have been made to believe that this living Christ is dead. That's the campaign, the Sub Rosa campaign that has been launched by the U.S. government since 1995. They have declared me to be dead because they could not discredit me. Every attempt to do so just exposed them for what they were doing. And they got frustrated. So they finally declared me to be dead. The proof is on the internet for all to see. But who's interested in looking it up? Who's interested in listening or watching my videos? Do you understand? Who amongst you understand the simple truth that is inarguable? Yet you can't argue with me. So you must destroy the image, the idea that I, this living Christ, am dead, do not exist. That's satanic mind control. That's how all you millions of you are affected by such mind control programs by the media, who control your minds, who control the news of what is going on. But you see, it's all illusion. If you're responding to what's going on in the Middle East, you're living here in America. It doesn't affect you. It affects you in your intellect, does it not? It is the source of all politics, where they strip from you your own life force in the way of money because they raise fear in you. Fear of outcomes, of illusions that are about to happen, and you believe those illusions to be truth. They are not true. The coming collapse, the monetary collapse, is such an illusion. You understand? If you look deeper into it, they're tampering with your life force, your ability to create wealth. You are the only wealth producers in the world. Government is not. Government manages the idea of wealth. And by doing so, they extract that wealth from you. What do you do about it? Nothing. Because you live in fear. You live in the fact that something negative will happen to you if you don't obey them, if you don't abide by their rules. I have proven that all to be false. I have walked away from a 40-year prison term from 2 trials where they found their own fictitious person, defendant, guilty. But that wasn't this living man. And I held to that I was a living man, and I challenged the fictional court judge to prove in writing jurisdiction over this living man. He could not. I called their bluff, and they folded. Most of you can't even consider doing such a thing because of your conditioning process, your schooling process. That's how you're controlled. That's how you're made to be slaves. You are the creators of government. And because of that, you can uncreate government anytime you want. That's the power that you have, but you can only do it individually. When millions of you individually change your withholding agreement with your employers, you get your full complement of energy as a result of your toiling daily. You'll find that life is quite different when you realize you are the source of your own life, standard of life. You take responsibility. You know what love is. You see, all that is based in non-duality. Non-duality is based in the subconscious mind. You have 2 minds. And you must strike a balance between the 2 minds. And that balance becomes the Christ state of consciousness. And we all have that within us. I am aware of it. I am displaying it. And it seems foreign to you. It seems arrogant of me to do so. Why? Because you are so limited in your beliefs. Once you break that satanic spell that limits you to slavery, you've changed your world. You have changed your world because you are the creator of your world. And no man has control over you because he too, you see, there is so much to understand that your present conditioning does not allow for you to have. And therefore, your way of intellectual thinking does not allow you to go beyond that which limits you. Well, that's what I've been doing. And you can see the reaction to that by many of you. The vast majority of you. You have been upset. Why have you been upset? If what I have said is not true, you would not be upset. Understand? Truth is what is. It is non-dualistic. It is what is. In fact, there is no opposition to that which is. The I am that I am. That's non-duality. You don't see it that way. You see that as a concept, a religious concept. And you respond to the limitations of concepts that are your own projected thoughts. Therefore, you live in a land of illusion, the illusion of the intellectual mind. I'll bet you've never looked at it that way. I can almost guarantee you haven't looked at it that way. That's how limited, how ignorant you are of who you truly are. Well, it's time for that to change, if you want to change. And you don't have to remain enslavement to other men who render control over you and punish you, imprison you, and kill you. That sound funny to you? Look at all the shootings that are going on. And then they want to create laws that take away your guns, your ability to defend yourself, to exercise your right to self-defense, your God-given right to self-defense, to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. They want to take that away from you so that you are helpless against those who retain their guns. The government, the armies, understand? They're not going to go away. They're not going to surrender their guns. But you see, they are servants of you because they operate from an institution that was created by you. And as long as that institution is sustainable, it will continue its design of enslavement. Boycott. Dissolve hell on earth. Can it be done? You're damned right it can be done. But it has to be done individually, not through groupthink, not through armed revolution of one group fighting another group so that there is rampant killing. And the survivors are the victors. That's been civilized society since the beginning of time, has it not? Wars. It's time to do away with all of that, and it can be done. I say it can be done, and I say it non-dualistically. I say it in truth. Are you open enough Can you hear the truth? Do you resonate with the truth? If you do, then act on it. As an individual, don't start a group. That's just another satanic operation. And you are at the mercy of those who control the group through words and ideas, through rules, through myths, through legends, through history. Rise up. Assert yourself. I am a living man. That is what you are. I am a living woman. That's what you are. Act like it.